Hello everyone, and welcome to another Pathfinder adventure card game scenario. We are on scenario 2.2 at the Mausoleum with the character Alahazra. Advancing the Blessings deck. First thing we get is a Blessing of the Ancients. And also in the Blessings discard pile is a Blessing of the Ancients. So for Alahazra, this is an auto acquire because her divine skill is D10 plus 5. So pretty awesome. We'll go ahead and use it right away. We will discard this card to examine the top card of your location deck. Then we may explore. Okay, so the card gets recharged into our deck. We are examining this card. So we examine, and now we can explore. Okay, so this henchman is immune to cold, mental, and poison. It says during an encounter, recharge a card before you play a card. If the check to defeat has a piercing or a slashing trait, so it doesn't, because in our hand we have an immolate spell. So we will go ahead and use the immolate spell, where we can use our arcane skill, which is D10 plus 2d4. But of course, thanks to the old eye taker, before we do this, we need to recharge a card. Okay, we'll recharge one of the many blessings we have in our hand. So we've recharged the card. We've done the before you play a card effect. Now we're going to use the immolate spell, which is 2d4 and a d10 plus a d8 since it is magic and fire, or attack and fire rather. So all these plus we get to add, oh, you know what? So it says first we need to do the wisdom, charisma, diplomacy check. Okay, so for that, so we already recharged a card for that. We're going to go ahead and use a Blessing of Ra, so we can go ahead and roll 2d10 for our charisma check and add, it's charisma check. So divine, diplomacy is charisma plus 2, so we can roll 2d10 and add a total of 5 to this roll. Okay, so we rolled 12 and 5 is 17, so that is greater than 9. So now we'll go ahead and do the combat check. So then in order to do that, we need to recharge a card. So we'll recharge the Game of the Afterlife. And now we'll do the immolate spell, which is going to be D10 plus 2d4 plus a d8, adding 5 to this roll. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have the 13 plus 5 is 18. Okay, so old eye taker has been defeated. We could have also buried a card, but we really didn't need to. So it says here that if defeated, you may immediately attempt to close the location this henchman came from. But first thing we'd like to do is see if we recharge our immolate spell. It's a divine 7 check, and Alahazra, she has a divine skill of d10 plus 6, so that's pretty sweet. The immolate is an auto acquire, and, or I should say, an auto recharge. Okay, old eye taker is defeated, and now we can try to close this location. We only have 3 cards left in our hand because Alahazra, for her power feat a short while ago, has a hand size of 7. So now we will attempt to defeat the Voices of the Spire. So the difficulty to defeat is increased by twice the scenario's adventure deck number. This is scenario 2, so that means we either have to do a combat 12 or a charisma diplomacy 11. So right now, Alahazra has the Spear of the Watchful Guardian. So for a combat check, she can use strength or melee plus 1d6 plus 1, and she can recharge it for an additional d6, and she has a blessing. She has 2 blessings, so basically she can add 1 die to any check. Or she can just go ahead and roll her diplomacy or her charisma. She'll do the diplomacy. So diplomacy is plus 5, d10 plus 5. Well, obviously we're going to go for the, actually, you know what, it's going to be 7, 8, so 11. So, it's hard to tell. You know, I mean, they're almost both the same, but seems like we're going to go ahead and do the charisma diplomacy. We're just going to use a blessing of Pharasma. And what we're going to do, so we're going to use the 2d10 on our charisma, and we are for our diplomacy check, and we're adding a total of 5 to this roll. Let's see what we get. So okay, more than enough. 16 plus 5 is 21. So that means that we did not defeat the voice of the spire by a combat check. So that means that the voice of the spire is defeated. Okay, well, we closed that location, which is good and bad. Let's see, the reward for that scenario was, so we get this loot for closing the mausoleum. The reward for the scenario was the hand of the honest man. So I mean, it's good and it's bad. I mean, it's nice to always level up, but the fact is that we just got this loot card, which we can trade to a trader. We're not going to do a deck check since Alahazra really didn't acquire any new loot except for this. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and we'll see if we can trade that loot to Hayden Hopper. But then if we want to trade that level 2 loot, that means, let me go ahead and do a quick check. So Hayden Hopper is only going to accept the embalming fluid from us, which we don't want to trade, or this armor, which we don't want to trade, or he will accept the Spear of the Watchful Guardian. So we're on level 2, right? So that means that this guy, he's only going to accept our level 1 loot. So the Spear of the Watchful Guardian, the whatever armor, and the embalming fluid, all are level 1. So that means that Hayden Hopper will trade us these items for that. So I guess what we can do is we will, instead of Hayden Hopper, let's go check out the Ghoul Market. We're going to the Ghoul Market. Ghoul Market says that they're offering armors. So that way we have the choice of trading the Hand of the Honest Man and this armor for a different armor. So what we'll do is after we defeated the mausoleum, I guess it's a little thematic. After defeating the mausoleum, we are going to the Ghoul Market. And let's go ahead and see what this Ghoul Market has to offer. Rolling a trusty D30. So we got, wow, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's offering that one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and that one. Okay, so at the Ghoul Market, they are offering the vented plate mail or a filter hood. And I can tell you right now that Alahazra is not interested in either of those items. So we say goodbye to the Ghoul Market. Complete waste of time there. We are going to be keeping all these items, and we are just going to unfortunately toss this Hand of the Honest Man. It had the potential of getting us a better armor, but as it was, we just tossed this in the garbage, and we will continue on with the next scenario. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I will have another scenario up shortly, which will be scenario 2.3. Alright, thanks again.